Hey, how's it going? See here. Hi, YouTube people and internet land. I hope you guys are doing well. It's been a while since I made a video on YouTube, but yeah, today I want to kind of talk about like this particular subject in the title called friends, acquaintances, and strangers. And what does it mean? Like, and this video is more like a question, I suppose, like to you, and hopefully the people that see it will reply. And basically I just want to kind of like start a conversation about this. uh so I think I'll start off by talking about a little bit about my childhood. So I'm a millennial. I grew up in the 80s, 90s. There wasn't much there wasn't much internet until I was like a young kid. And anyways, once we have internet, I think in the late 90s, or early 90s, early mid 90s, I think it really changed the way how we like navigate. What do I mean by that? Because I remember like before I had internet, like I was only able to like interact with people that live around me physically, and that was like there was a limited amount. And even till today, I feel like physically we can only like interact with a specific amount of people. Like we cannot fly or transcend. But I think the internet kind of like changed the way we communicate, the way we interact with each other in this world and in this time. And so sometimes I feel friends, acquaintances, and strangers. What do they all mean? Like, I feel like when I look back at the people that I think that are my friends, the people that I've spent time with in different chapters, my teens, my childhood. Sometimes I think back at these people and I feel like they're a stranger to me. Like, I feel like I don't know them, even though maybe we've spent a lot of time together, or we've crossed paths or have meaningful interactions. And these days, some of these strangers that I don't even know much about, or sometimes I don't even know how they look like, are my closest friends. So I feel like between friends, strangers, and acquaintances, sometimes they change from one state to the other, and a lot of it is within my mental expectation or mental state of like what these people are. And so let's talk about technology and how it's kind of like evolved and how I've kind of like observed throughout my lifetime. We'll just start with like Facebook. When Facebook first came out, you would add the people you know, and you're restricted to the people that you know, the feed that you get on your feed. And then Instagram came along. Now, Instagram came and it changed the game how we interact with people. We were able to follow and unfollow and keep tabs with people that maybe are outside of our immediate circle. Sometimes we've never met, and we've kept tab. Like, I'm sure there's almost 13,000 people following me on Instagram, 5,000 on YouTube, 10,000 on Facebook. And I'll hear people say like they've been watching my work for like a decade, like watching my life. Mostly things that I'm into, like juggling and circus. And so I think that really changed the way we kind of like operate, because we can kind of keep in touch and keep updated periodically, or even, I guess, however long. And so like it changes the way we kind of like know each other, right? And then comes TikTok and live streaming. TikTok is like a whole nother beast, because TikTok, you can follow all these people, but most people use TikTok by using the algorithm. The algorithm recommends you what you see. And that is even like a further out consumption of like content from people that we may never even cross path with ever, no matter how we scroll, and we rely on the algorithm to give us that content, which is a whole different way of interacting. And why I brought up Facebook, because back then I would manage my Facebook friend requests, and I would tell myself, okay, I would only add those people if I've ever met them in real life. But then after a certain point, when I was like traveling all over, the list grew and grew and grew into like hundreds of people that I just completely gave up. it was just too much to manage, and so I've completely gave up Facebook Messenger. I still use it a little bit, and people will say, "Oh yeah, you know, like I saw your post here and there. We should get on a phone call sometimes." But I don't like getting on a phone call with strangers, though. You think we're friends, but I don't know if you're a stranger or a friend. You know what I mean? A lot of it is the rapport. Like we may have like a memory from a certain chapter in our life, but like, are we connected now? And why am I even talking to a complete stranger that I don't even know, but every day? Like, you know what I mean? Like the way things have evolved and the technology and community and human interaction has completely changed. That is 1,000%. And so like most of my time in the last 2 years I've spent on Discord and on live streams. And on live streams, if you ever came to my live streams or ever watched somebody else live streams, it is the closest thing to IRL. It is the closest thing to like hanging out in real life, because you're listening to that person speak or converse. Like, and that is like a whole different subset of like communication that has changed like our lives. I mean, whether you like to admit it or not, I mean, it definitely changed my life of how I view these strangers, friends, and acquaintances. But with all that, hopefully, if you like this video and like to see more content, please click like and subscribe, turn on the bell, check out the Discord, hit up my streams, check out my Instagram. But with that being said, I think in the last couple weeks or however long I've been thinking about this particular subject, I think the most important part is not to hold on to things too much. It's like the state of flow. It's like juggling. It's like spinning a fire or whatever. You're trying to be present and observe the surroundings, but you're riding the wave of the ebb and flow of it all. If it feels heavy in your heart, you know, you sometimes have to let go, even though they're like people that you love, you know. And sometimes it's just the path doesn't cross, and sometimes it aligns, you know. Like with these strangers that I've been like talking on Discord all the time, they're like my closest friends without even knowing who they are. It's just like coincidentally, it's like it feels like I'm coincidentally like sitting on this like 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 subway, and so happened like these people are like right there with me, and so therefore like I guess they're like my closest friends, I guess. But yeah, it's technology. It definitely has changed the way like I think about like these interactions. And hopefully you like this video, and hopefully you don't get caught up in the deep metaverse too much. But if even so, if you do, I hope you find your place and flow with these relationships and these people and your friends or strangers or acquaintances. And with that being said, be well, YouTube.